Yeah, bro, I started out doing the 9 to 5. I was just odd job for a minute there. You know, basic retail, went in and out of mall jobs, Starbucks, random department store shit, you know, regular 9 to 5 shit. I hated it. I hated the idea. I was just talking about this of working for somebody else. Like, spend all this time doing all this work, but it's for another man. You ain't even like building your own self up during the time. So the whole time I was doing my 9 to 5 shit, I'm thinking, okay, what else can I do? Like, how am I gonna spend this extra time to build me up and get what I need for myself, so that I don't just look back on 10, 15 years wasted doing something for another man and to pay bills just to eat and shit. I was doing catering shit. It paid like $17 an hour, and you'd come, they put you in like a tux, and you'd be serving. We go to like City Hall, we go to weddings and parties. They just ship you out in a van with a bunch of other people, and you're over here carrying all these foods you can't name and drinks, walking around, all these rich people serving this shit. You get back into the kitchen, hey, pick that up, da-da-da, just screaming at you. And I'm looking at this dude like, hold on, I'm a human. Like, you're gonna really just scream at me like I owe you? Like, and I'm sitting there, I had a problem with it. I'm like, trying to keep myself from snapping or walking away. But like, my first thing, if somebody starts screaming at me or doing some shit like that, like, I go the complete opposite direction on them. Like, okay, now I'm not fucking with you. Whatever you trying to do, like, I'm gonna make this real difficult for you. So that was not a good fit, because especially in the food industry, you don't get that. You're there to do a job, you're a service person, and with that service comes people who are mad, people who expect something. And I was sitting back like, I'm gonna get myself in trouble if I keep doing this shit. I have somebody screaming at me, telling me to do this and that. Like, nah, it's not gonna go that way for bruh. Next time he's trying to, I'm gonna scream back, flip out, flip a table, do some dumb shit. So I didn't like that. I don't like the whole like treat you like you're less of a human being mentality. And I feel like with a lot of 9 to 5s, you're there to do a service. They want you to fit this perfect mold, and if you don't, you're replaceable. So it's like you just got belittled to being somebody that could be replaced like that if you don't do what you know. It's just a terrible thing to do to yourself. And yeah, I didn't like feeling like that, you know. Yeah, you get so many taxes taken out. Like, when you're first working a 9 to 5, you don't get the taxes shit. You're like, okay, this is the money, they're gonna take this. You don't get the return shit. But you know, you start doing independent stuff, Uncle Sam's still gonna take the money from you anyway. But the way you feel getting all of the taxes cut out of your check after getting disrespected for weeks and picking up, you said 2,000, my shit was looking more like 200 for like you know, I wasn't working like that, but I'm saying I'd sit back and look at this shit and I'm like, for all that screaming and yelling, this is what I got? Like,
so at $17 an hour, you had $200.
I was working like one weekend shift. Like, it was like events and shit. It wasn't like, this was like an on-call, like, we need people for an event type shit. And I wasn't like, oh, I'm coming to every event. But I'd sit back after working a big one and be like, okay, yeah, I got a little bag, I'm good. I get the check, everything taken out of it. Like, the fuck? So.
Were you allowed to get tips on that type of job?
No. I mean, it depends what event. That was the thing. Like, of course, the corporation, they tell you no, don't take these. But that was the thing, is like, certain events, somebody just slides you something. Like, they know. Like, certain people who, okay, they might have been through the business and gone through fucking serving. They know that a 20 under the table, that's for you. They put me right behind the bar. I was doing bartending. I didn't know how to make drinks at all. And I'm sitting there like, oh, can we get a da-da-da-da? I'm like, yeah, how do you make that again? And somebody's drunk, you've been serving them all night. They just slide you on there. Okay, cool. And you start feeling good. But not for the most part, not really. You don't really, you know, you just show up, you get that check, you leave, you get disrespected while you're there. And it could have been anybody else but you. So nobody really appreciated the work you did while you were there. You know what? When I was doing the 9 to 5 shit, I was like starting to blow up with what I was doing on social media. And like, a lot of people instantly associate, oh, they're fucking thousands of followers, whatever, they got dough. No, that's not the case. But I seen something. I was like, hold on. With this following comes power. With finessing it right, structuring it right, comes actually being able to make money out of it and doing that. So for me, it was like, I didn't want to do the 9-to-5 shit so bad that I was happy to be broke and get the little checks that I was getting, couch surfing, doing whatever to build my foundation. Because at that point, it was like, I'm the brokest one in the room and people are coming up to me taking pictures with me. And I'm sitting there like, they're thinking I'm hot shit. And I'm over here like eating noodles and, you know, struggling to do anything. And it's just the perception of it. So when I saw that and how people just react to, oh, there's a following here and people want to be a part of it and they want to be associated with it, I started thinking, okay, how can I spin this to really turn all these followers, turn everything else in my favor? And the answer at first was, I won't. I just straight won't. We just gonna build this shit until everybody wants to be a part of it. And then, you know, at a certain point you do it. Because it's like, there'd be certain people who start to build their own thing and you see them start to pop. And as soon as they start to pop, hit me for promo, hit me for da-da-da, they're ready to sell it all out then. It's like, you gotta raise it up to a certain level before you're actually like getting the dough you need to build the foundation. Because I didn't really have the foundation. So I was spending the dough that I didn't even have to fly here, to link with such, you know, I'm never paying artists to link with them, but I was putting that money into my brand, into my gas tank, into my, you know, hotel stays, airplane flights. Like, wasn't nobody paying that shit. So the 9-to-5, having a job really helped at first to get a solid base set of funds to hop on a plane, do this and that. But at a certain point, it's like, okay, I tried it, I couldn't do it. I went back to the 9-to-5. I didn't have enough money. I had to realize, okay, I'm just gonna grind in all the time that I don't have working and build the brand. This whole year, I'm gonna do nothing but build the most powerful brand I can with the resources that I have. Am I gonna spend a bunch of money? No. Am I gonna buy a designer? No. Am I gonna have a nice car? No. Am I gonna eat like I'm homeless and all that? Yep, that's exactly what we're doing. Do I care about perception and any of that? Unless it affects business, absolutely not. This is all I have to do right now, and then boom, that's that foundational level that I need to be on the business tip with to get the money rolling in that I need to take it to the next spot. So yeah, you fall a lot. You fall every day. Like we still all fall on the independent hustle. Like, you're your own boss. You make your own decisions. Anything that you do relies on you making that shit pop. Nobody's getting behind you to make it pop. But you build a brand just like any other company, just like Apple, Microsoft, any company. People want to associate with it. It runs on its own. Like, you get it to that point. Whether you're making food, shooting videos, doing what I'm doing, people want it and it benefits them, they're gonna buy into it. I get people DMing me all the time, bro, I'm hard, all I need is a shot. I just quit my job to chase this music shit. I'm like, why? You need money to chase this music shit. You need a foundation to chase this music shit. Why'd you quit your job? People don't know you. People don't know you yet. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you got a powerful ass brand, people still don't know you. At least you built that, so you have the foundation to take that leap. But for me, like, it got to the point where I'm not thinking like, okay, how am I gonna make money today? I'm thinking, how am I gonna up my brand? And if I up my brand, the money's gonna come along with it. And I just got on the mindset every day. Like, people who work for themselves, they say, well, we're working around the clock. Working might look like this. Boom, okay. It went through because the business is there. Now all of a sudden, okay, you set that up. When this comes in, you got to be ready for it. Now you're ready for it. It went through. That was work. Work might take 15 minutes to make a whole 6 months worth if you were working a 9-to-5, and you might not make $1 all the months up until then. And then, we were ready. The business was set up, good to go. But you'll be starving, and then something hits. You'll be thinking something's gonna hit, and everything falls through. You were relying on it. So you gotta think, okay, in my experience, this looked like it was gonna happen and didn't. This looked like it was gonna happen and didn't. 95% of the shit that looks like it's gonna happen isn't gonna happen. So you have to cater your mindset to be, if this is an opportunity, let me create 15 more, so 1 in 15 hits and we're able to level up to the next spot. You gotta be knocking on every door. Like to move up the way I was, I'm not sitting back like, okay, I did this, I'm not gonna reach out to anybody. I got, up past 1 million followers. I'm reaching out to 7, 8, 12 people a day, humbly on some like, let's get it. Let's make this shit pop. And if it works, it works. And even at that high level, you might have 95% of the people not even respond to you. You got to be comfortable with the fact that you gon' face plant every day. We gonna just eat shit and do it over and over and over again until boop. And then, oh damn, bro, look at him. He doing the da 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 da. Yeah, well, okay. You didn't see the shit that I didn't do up to get here. You got to get comfortable with the fact that your failures are what's gonna make your success that much more monumental, because you done knocked on 30, 40, 50, 100 doors and nobody let you in, but you kept doing it. A lot of people get discouraged in the, oh, they don't fuck with me. You hear it all the time. Man, they ain't fucking with me. They're sleeping on me. They're not. You just ain't knocking on enough doors. Or maybe you need to reconsider your craft and figure something else out. And I thought about that too. At times you reach plateaus in doing this where you're like, is all this effort I'm putting into actually leading to something, or do I need to tweak it a little bit? Do I need to change this one little thing? And oftentimes it's just a quick little oop, and you're right back on the... I was doing the independent thing the whole time.
You were working.
I was working. Even when I said, okay, I'm gonna need this much to actually quit. So I was working and just keeping it low key the whole way through, until it got to the point where like, okay, now I got enough money to really, really do this. Now I can drop it. Now, if I fail for 2 years straight, I'm gonna be good. For 3 years straight, I'm gonna be good. Now I got that. Because when I first stopped, I was like, okay, I got, this much money, couple thousand saved up. It's good. I'm afloat with this. I'm sitting back like, wait, hold on, I'm spending, nothing's coming in. Oh shit, nope, we gotta go back to work. So when I finally like took that leap to really get going with it, I had done that a couple times and fallen on my face. And that's okay. That's what makes us stronger. That's what makes us grind harder. That's what makes it. And I still say to this day, if I gotta go get a minimum wage job and I gotta go into Burger King, I'll do that humbly and on every hour of the day. Outside of that, I'm gonna figure out how to re-strategize, how to, I'm obviously not going straight to Burger King if that's the thing, but if that's what it comes down to, because I was, okay, I done this, so now I can sit back. A lot of people do that. If that's what it comes down to, I'm gonna do it, get the money I need to get onto that, and then, move out. Obviously that's not even on the game plan, but you gotta have that mindset of like, by any means, by any means, I'm gonna get this shit figured out. It was the first big check I got. Like, I had done like a Target deal, and like I was never on the sellout. Like I had all these brands hit me up for this, and like I didn't want to do anything promo related. You wouldn't see shit promo related on mine because I was trying to build the most powerful brand. But like I started getting into having like big corporations reach out. They didn't need me to even post about working with them. I was like, oh shit, that first check hit, and I was like, this money is the most valuable money that I've ever had. Like I've had 10 bands just floated off some bullshit and felt like that shit was nothing. And I've had a couple hundred floated from doing my thing solely off my own hustle. That money feels completely different. So in getting that, I'm thinking a whole different way about it. Okay, this is the money I saved off of just doing what my brand has brought me. This is a whole different type of bread. This is the humbling check that you get that makes you feel like, okay, now I can pop my shit. I've done it once, twice, 3 times. I can keep running it. I know exactly what it takes. You start to realize this is what it takes to succeed. Now I'm gonna keep doing this. All these successful people got famous stand-up comedians. Kevin Hart getting booed off stage, doing the exact same thing, tweaking the formula a little bit over and over and over and over. All of a sudden you realize this shit starts hitting. Okay, now this is what I gotta do. You just gear your mindset to, oh, that's what success looks like? I'm gonna switch this, this, and this so we can get more into that. Okay, this is what failure looks like. I'm gonna switch this, this, and this to get away from that so we don't end up in that situation again. And just by that mindset, I'm not thinking, how can I get more bread? I'm not thinking, how can I do this? I'm thinking, how can I be successful overall? Because all the money comes at that point. Once you have the gears moving and everything's gelling, the money is a byproduct of you having created the most solid brand, the most solid business model that you can out of your situation. And you just want to tighten it, tighten it, tighten it, make it perfect to the point where it's a well-oiled machine. It ain't me. That's the thing I created making money. That ain't me. That's what I started, and I can wake up to that thing that I created over there paying me back. I'm not, oh, this is me going to do it. I'm like, yeah, that's money that's sitting there and will be sitting. That's what they say, net worth. Like, oh, this person's net worth. That don't mean they got 3.5 million. That means their assets and what they've done can make that much money. That means the work they put in can provide that much. So you create that business model. You can't even put a price tag on it when you know how it functions and when you know what it's capable of making. It turns into, how can I just perfect this machine that I created to get that flow steady and not stop. You're just tightening it up, tuning it up every day, figuring out the best way to keep that in motion, you know? So starting out in the Bay, I was just doing videos of ukulele videos. And it was funny. Like, we were just talking about, like, it was damn near comedy at the beginning, because it was just like, I'm playing the ukulele, I'm playing songs of these artists on some like lullaby shit, singing these 15-second clips. And to me, I was just like, let's see how far this goes. Like, this is just kind of funny to me, because I was realizing how quickly it was building. And I was like, okay, we're building something, but I don't even know where it's going. But I was just doing all these videos. So I'd listen to a song, pick up the ukulele, play it, write down. I had napkins. I had flashcards with song lyrics on it. And Instagram was only 15 seconds back then. So I just had to have that little clip. I set up my phone like this with the lyrics right above it, put on some shades so they couldn't see I was reading the shit, and I'd play the little 15 seconds, DM it to the artist. They posted on their page, @tag me. All of a sudden, okay, couple hundred, couple thousand, it started getting up to the point where I'm like, oh shoot, I got like 10,000, 15,000. Went to a show, got pulled up on stage. It was like the Thizzler Jam in 2015, 2016, and ended up performing on some like, hey, y'all know who this is? He's been all over the internet. I'm playing Mr. Fab, Neff the Pharaoh, holding mics to me and shit. And all these artists were like, yo, let's work. And then shit, around that time, I think me and you had linked up. You were doing your video thing. And at that point, it was like, okay, if there's an opportunity, I'm jumping on it. Lil Jon had a contest. He said, bro, we're flying the best person to recreate my song, out to Vegas. And to me at that time, that was the biggest shit that I could be focused on, because that was somebody being like, hey, you do this and we gon', you know, launch, who knows where we gonna launch you to, but you coming to Vegas to fuck with Lil Jon. To me, I'm like, shit, okay, let's do it. So we did our little thing. We ended up winning. Lil Jon flew us out there. In reality, it wasn't shit. But at the time, to everybody else, and seeing that happened, it built the perception. I started realizing, okay, it's the perception of this shit. Did we make money off it? No. We got a plane ticket on fucking, you know, Spirit Airlines on some bullshit to go out and fucking get bread dap, and then got up out of there. But the perception of how everybody was looking at it, oh, this is different. Okay, this is gonna change like how he comes back to the Bay, because now he's fucked with such and such. All these artists are hitting me who weren't hitting me. I'm realizing, I'm like, just read your message, bro. What's poppin'? I'm like, just read your message? Hold on, bro. I sent you a message 2 months ago. Now because I did this little thing, you're hitting me back. So I realized, okay, we gotta get this on the road. I linked with my boy and he was like, we gotta go to Detroit. Right around that time, I started doing the videos with the artists and those started popping. I'd link with the artists, that video would go up. I'd start linking with other artists. So I was just going around every artist in Oakland, Vallejo, Frisco, San Jose, all over the Bay, Modesto, getting the videos going on that. But I realized, okay, nothing really sent traffic my way and changed the perception that everyone had of what I was doing, like going and fucking with somebody that they couldn't. Okay, you're fucking with bruh and other bruh. I'll never forget, I told Neff this the other day, Neff the Pharaoh. I was hitting him for a video. It was early on. I must have had like 15K. He had the most lit song in the Bay. And I was like, let's do this. And he was kind of giving me the whole like, oh yeah, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm a little busy, And at the time I was like, hey bro, like honestly, like I'm not tripping either way. Like, you want to do this or what's good? And he was like, I like to be rare. And that stuck in my head. I was like, oh shit. Everyone wants to be rare. Why am I doing shit with everybody right now? I gotta tighten up. I'm about to just do shit with people who they can't get in touch with and link with. How do I get to that level? Okay, let me build. I link with bruh. Now we hitting up 30 artists in Detroit. What's popping? I'm about to fly out there next month. Did I have a trip plan? Fuck no. But was I ready to go if enough people said they were ready to lock in? Hell yeah. So locked in, got 30 phone numbers, all these Detroit cats, flew out there with the last couple bucks we had. First night I was there, biggest video of my situation popped off. I swear Vezo pulled up. Hey, I know what's going on with you. I hadn't even talked to him yet, but he's like, I seen what you're doing. I was like, what? Like, you seen you in Detroit? You seen what? Okay. He said, pull up to the back. We gonna do this video. He posted it that night and it was like 70,000 views in Detroit, which 70,000 views is 70,000 views, but in Detroit, all these people who hadn't seen me, all of a sudden, everybody in Detroit, yo, let's lock in. Let me do one of those. So we went and we knocked out videos with all these Detroit artists. That was so successful. I had everybody in the Bay who I couldn't work with hitting me. Hey bro, what's good? When you get back, let's lock in. I said, do I lock in with them? No, I gotta be rare. We're going to Louisiana next. Fuck it. Atlanta, Louisiana, Jersey, Baltimore, New York. We just started hitting all these places. All of a sudden, we're making money out on the road. Oh, bro wants a video, okay. Hit up my, okay, we're gonna get the upfront, figure this out. Now we're paying for the trips that we're doing. Now we're paying for the hotels. Now we're paying for the whatever, and the brand's building. So I'm looking at it like, I'm not seeing financial return, but I'm seeing my brand build, which is even better than financial return. Because as long as I got the money for the next trip, as long as I got the money for the next move, as long as I can continue to stay rare and link with people who other people can't or haven't linked with, this is gonna continue to build. So I just followed that formula. Okay, we gotta be rare, we gotta follow this, we gotta link with the next level up and continue to have the whole nation figure out about it. Then all of a sudden it clicked. And it was just like, boom. I remember the day it clicked. I didn't even have the following, but I just knew. I was like, this shit's worth so much. Like, this shit is not, you cannot fuck with what I just created. And it was like the whole first, it was like up to like thousands and thousands of followers. I was still just guessing at it. And I just realized like, holy shit, you see these DMs? I remember looking at my boy, I was like, what? Look what we just started. Like this shit. And it just kept going. So yeah, it was a long process too. Long process. A lot of people have that blow up like that, but for me it was like all this footwork, which a majority of the people didn't even get to see because they got introduced to me by this huge video with this, you know, big artist or whatever, and seeing some shit. But a lot of the people who saw the come up saw this fool's putting in work every day, grinding. Like, I don't know, a lot of people, it feels like, damn, he had that shit handed to him. You don't really see You don't really see the glass elevator of them going up. You just see them at that top spot. You don't know the work that was put in. So I tried to give people a peek at that on the way up. Like, this is what you're seeing. I post roadmaps of where I was going. Before we fly in, I put ukuleles on every city, little guitar emojis. I post the map. We're coming. So we land in Baton Rouge. We go through Alabama. We slide down through Florida. We go all the way to the bottom of Florida through fucking Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Orlando, Broward County, Miami, and then boom, we up to Atlanta. And it was just, every time I'm like, I'm coming, I'm DMing people, they're coming, hey, pull up on me all of a sudden. You see who just commented on that shit? Pull up on me. We sliding to Atlanta tonight. Fuck that. Scratch the game plan. We got a move to make. We're sliding across 3 states to make that shit happen. Okay, boom, now we on to the next. So it just, you know, continued the momentum and all of a sudden it was functioning on its own. I was gonna say, if you're working at something, you gotta want it like it's oxygen. You gotta, if you're trying to start something up that's gonna be successful and dip from the 9 to 5, you gotta work every single waking hour. All the free time that you have, pour that into what you're trying to go toward and get it to the point where you can see success. If you don't have it lined up so you can pour time and effort into it and then measure the success and see what growth you've given yourself, you're hustling backward. You gotta figure out exactly what you need to do to move to the next step in whatever it is. So you be taking baby steps every single day. You might not see it pay out, but at a certain point you realize, okay, all this effort I was putting in, every little bit of energy that I put in that I saw nothing from, now I can finally see that happening. Once you find out, okay, this is what I needed to do, this is the hustle I need to be on every single hour that I'm not working, don't stop doing that. And the growth is just gonna happen slowly, slowly, slowly over time. And if you finesse it the right way, you can get that shit to actually pop and start giving back to you. But you don't see that for maybe years. You might be pouring time and money into whatever the passion is and feel like it's not taking you anywhere. You just gotta figure out, okay, how can I see my own growth and take my own growth, recreate what I did to grow that way and continue it and not stop on that. Once you're at that point, you'll know, but ain't no, oh, I'm just gonna quit the 9 to 5 and jump into this. At least not for me. You know, you gotta have that backing. You gotta build the foundation. You can't build a house with no foundation set up, so you gotta build that foundation for yourself because nobody else is gonna build it for you.